We are back. That commercial break wasn't so bad, was it? You get to go to the bathroom and got yourself a drink. Anyway, you're looking at PewPewU, a guy I'm really excited to see play.
And you are also looking at an empty seat that will soon be filled by one beast from Sweden.
Indeed, indeed.
Armada.
I want to take a super quick detour. My man, #1 fan, been sitting in the front row for every single match this weekend, cheering along. Also gave me an update on pools, okay? His name is Jeremy. He let me know that Hacks just beat Soft 3-0.
Wait.
But if you didn't know, we have pools going on a different TV.
Hacks beat Soft 3-0.
Yes.
Hacks played Soft yesterday. You sure about this?
I'm
He may have said Axe versus
He may have said Axe
Soft.
beat Soft.
I bet he said
That
Axe
makes way
versus
more
Soft.
sense. Axe beat Soft
Right.
3-0. Right.
Because I remember I watched that on the
then.
stream yesterday before I got
Thank
here.
you, Toke. Yes, Axe beat Soft 3-0.
Westball said it was Axe. All right, confirmed. Westball's confirmed.
Okay, terrific, super.
Right.
So there are some pools matches going on a TV that isn't on stream. We've got most of the matches on stream, but for the sake of getting this thing along, there are a few we're going to try to keep you updated as the match goes along.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about what we're about to see. We're about to see PewPewU versus Armada. It's a Marth versus a Peach matchup,
yeah.
right? Which is super interesting. And I've got thoughts on top of thoughts on top of thoughts about this day.
Right.
You start.
Now, I have read a certain book from a certain Smash player.
Tell me about it.
Who claims to have been a absolute expert at the Peach Marth matchup from back in the day.
It's like a real cocky
I don't remember
dude.
who, right. Yeah, he
Real
sounds
arrogance.
like right. What a weird thing to say.
And what did he say about the Marth Peach matchup?
Well, the Marth Peach matchup, he didn't really go into too much detail.
It's the worst. It's the worst. It's a severe counter. At least it was a long time ago. It's bad for Peach.
Right?
Okay. Now the game has come a long way. I understand that. So the metagame has evolved. Armada is rewriting the book. Also, back in the day, we saw a lot of Marth Peach. Now, not so much. We just don't see Marth in general as much.
You don't, man. A lot of Marths, and a lot of Marths these days too, have like pocket secondaries that they'll bust out for certain matchups. Like we see that with PewPewU going Fox in certain matchups, like Sheik today when he defeated Kirby Kaze in the open bracket.
It's true.
So, I think one thing that's always kind of been considered a struggle with the Marth Peach matchup from the Marth side is that it's hard sometimes for Marth to get the kill. If you don't kill them at a low percent, it has often been said that you don't kill them at all.
We'll walk you through it when we're in the match. We'll have plenty of time when Peach is in the air, just taking her sweet time. We'll talk about the matchup. For now, let's talk about the man, the beast from Sweden, from Gothenburg, Sweden.
Armada Adam Lindgren.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter.
He's the one. Yeah, follow him on Twitter. Lots of inspiration offered in 146 characters or less.
Yeah.
He's a competitor. He's just he's a hero, someone fun to root for, and he's one of the favorites going into this tournament.
Definitely. He's been like, so the thing that's kind of remarkable about him, right, is he took a fairly long hiatus from the game for I guess a little over like the better half of a year, I think. And when he came back, and he came to the U.S. a couple weeks ago for Skatar, and he got 4th place, right, losing to 3 of the other people we consider gods of the game. And immediately, a week after that, it was like we saw an entirely different man, and he just confidently and convincingly defeated MewTwo in 2 sets and Mango in 1.
Rejuvenated.
And I think a big part of it, too, is the fact that he's been in the U.S. for a while now and has been playing with MewTwo and other top-level players fairly often. So, yeah, he's definitely such a threat right now because he's got that championship mentality, and now for the first time in history, he's got top-level practice on a consistent basis.
Yeah, he's going to be here for the summer. He's been here for a little while. He's going to stay here. Let's not forget, Armada, the only player in this championship pool who has not yet lost a match. Wait a second. Wait a second. No, well, a set.
A set, okay.
Let me check my notes. That was true. It was true until PewPewU entered the game. PewPewU is also undefeated, is he not? Correction. There are 2 people in championship
2 undefeated players
who
in this
have not
pool.
been defeated. You're about to see them face off against each
So
other.
let me talk about PewPewU being a player from my region.
Please.
Because, and I feel a little bit unfair doing this because I got to talk about Armada as well. But anyway, PewPewU, considered one of the, easily one of the top 3 players in NorCal. NorCal's top 3, of course, SFAT, Shroomed, and PewPewU. I think currently on the power ranking sits in that order, but it always goes back and forth. PewPewU was #1 for a while. And we've seen a lot in NorCal. He will solidly just dominate, these other players. And for a little while, in the kind of Kings of Cali 2-ish era about a year ago, he was solidly beating, I want to say he was solidly beating most people from SoCal, but lately, For example, in his more recent sets with Westballs, who's considered #1 in SoCal, Westballs has been winning. I think Westballs beat him the last, until today, Westballs have been beating him like last 2-3 sets, something like that. Yeah, something like, okay, Westballs just gave me something like that. But today we are seeing a really determined and powerful PewPewU that has 3-0'd, I believe, both Fiction and Westballs.
It's true.
Also outplacing...
He's 6-0, so he actually hasn't lost a match.
Right, he hasn't lost a match, that's true. So right now he's looking really, really solid. And I want to say the thing that people have always said about PewPewU was like, he's really, really dominant on the West Coast. He took a set off Mango at NCR last year, and he took another set off Mango at Landhammer the same year, and he won NCR this year. So these bigger, even big tournaments, he does really, really solidly on the West Coast, but sometimes these nationals, he doesn't quite perform up to par. But we are seeing right now, you know, like the script has been flipped, so, you know.
There's one of many players involved this weekend who have been good for a while. We're waiting to see them achieve greatness.
Right.
And a big stage is the place to do that.
Right.
You win these one-off tournaments, even when there's really good people there, it does matter, but you know, when you get your own player card in MLG, and they list your highlight, it's going to be at Apex,
right,
at Evo, at MLG. Those are the ones that we remember.
Those are the ones that count, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Because we're not. It's interesting because we almost want to measure who's better, but really what we're measuring is who's the better champion, who's the better competitor.
Right, and as much as we want to talk about it, the game is not played in a vacuum. There's so many different facets that go in a match.
Yep, and they count.
Here it goes.
All right, let's do it. So just some basics of the match, okay? Because again, these matches are going to be a little slower than the other ones we've seen. They're not going to go bump, 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 shine, shine, down.
Right.
Okay, these are longer stocks.
I mean, so yeah, please, anytime, you see something, some little nuance, please point it out.
Okay, so the basics of it are that Marth has the best range in the game.
Yes.
Okay, Peach's range, not so much. So Marth is going to be able to keep Peach out with that sword of his. And that's the long and short of it. There's more, but that's it. She has a hard time getting in. If she's anywhere above Marth, that's going to be difficult. And once the Marth hits her up in the air, she's going to have a heck of a time getting back down on the stage if PewPewU does his job.
Yeah, definitely.
So she's going to get in like she did just there with a dash dance, for example, baiting out the grab, coming out, coming back in, and getting the grab.
Makes a lot of sense.
But you're essentially only getting in when Marth makes a mistake or when you outsmart Marth.
Because Marth, I mean, he has a sword. I mean, if you look at these two characters and you don't know anything about the game, you're like, okay, here's a defenseless princess and a guy with a sword. So
yeah, and it almost holds true. I mean, think about this. I maintain that if the game were played in a vacuum, if Marth played every frame perfectly, he'd never get hit.
Peach would never get, right.
He might get shot by a laser, but he could beat every person.
Right.
So what Armada's going to do is outsmart PewPewU.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
He needs to bait the Marth into throwing out a move that is then punishable and then punishing, right? Because the one thing about Marth is he doesn't really have any moves like Fox's neutral air or like a lot of these neutral airs, thinking like Samus Link, that you throw them out, they stay out. With Marth, every move he does, they're out and then they're gone, and then he's vulnerable. So it's those windows where Peach can sneak in. And Armada will use his his dash dance and his float to just stay out of the range and bait Marth to throw out a move and then punish.
Now, you want to pay attention to the percents. Neither player want to be fishing for kills at high percent.
Yeah.
Peach is going to need to look for a good opening, otherwise the Marth might need to live for a long time.
Oh.
Wow.
So the setup, right? Turnip is supposed to cover that option to send a Marth back off the stage, but it just hit PewPewU the wrong way.
It's true. That down smash ate through all of Marth. Now the Marth up B to the left there, hoping to hit the turnip.
Hit the turnip and survive.
To the right and still survive.
Clever stuff. Didn't quite work.
Not quite, but it was good to go for it. Power shot in the turnip, going right back at the face. Now again, the thing about Marth's range, Peach is going to want to be outside of it or inside of it.
Right.
Okay, so you'll see her stay outside, and then when she's in, she wants to stay in.
Right.
By any means necessary. That may even mean rolling.
The place she doesn't want to be is right at that sweet, that golden area for Marth to really work his range, right? She wants to be just outside of that or inside so that Marth can't, I guess, establish his dominance in the matchup.
So, excellent decision for PewPewU to the Dolphin Slash out of the shield. That's going to get a kill where nothing else would have.
Right. But that's again, Armada dying at 154. That's kind of what we mentioned earlier, how it is hard for Marth to get that kill sometimes, because once you get Peach to that upper or above 100%, nothing really combos into a kill move.
Sure. I'm
suddenly
what husband would say. I think it's at 82%. I think I want to say is when you want to start looking to kill her, and now that's often going to mean the toward B up tilt.
Toward B up tilt, yeah.
That's the perfect setup right there.
Launch kill. And we saw PewPewU going for on that earlier stock, but Armada was just doing such a good job DIing out of the side B. You saw him just being completely to the side after the side B, so up tilt wouldn't connect.
For sure. Well, it is DI dependent. Okay, and here you go. So PewPewU has a chance to keep the Peach up in the air. But again, I mean, Armada, one of the smartest players playing the game, so you got to outsmart that.
You got to outsmart him, yeah. It's never just like, my character's better than yours, so I can do whatever I want. You also have to outplay. Armada, yeah, that'll do it.
Catching her off guard, missing the DI.
Ooh, nice dash attack, just calling PewPewU's choice of a late forward air.
Dash attack, huge for Peach in this matchup. So valuable.
The push.
The push.
The push.
And you know what she wants to do? She's going to want to push Marth's, if you will, she's going to want to push his shins. when he short hops like that, she can dash attack and get in.
Just get the shins. Okay.
So what Ken would do to combat that is he would do full jumps. Right? That's his
interesting. Yeah, okay, I can see it. I can see
so
it.
we may see PewPewU break out some full jumps. But that's a solid 2-stock victory for Armada.
Yeah. Just looking really, really solid and like bulletproof, if you will.
I also don't like that stage, though. I think if PewPewU is able to go to Final Destination, then he has room to keep the Peach up in the air. Because like we said, he wants to kill the Peach at around 80 to 100%, but if she's higher, enough F-airs will eventually do it.
Right.
And you can hit her with 40 of those.
How much is enough, right? Yeah.
But if she's up in the air the whole time and she's not getting any % off, it just takes longer.
It takes longer, yeah. That's that reminds me of the set where PPMD famously pulled out the Marth versus Peach, Armada's Peach at Apex 2013, and it seemed like every stock he was having to play Armada to like 150%, and it just looked exhausting. So that's something you definitely want to avoid. It's a war of attrition, and yeah, if you can play perfect for that long, then by all means, but it's not that simple, man.
It isn't, no. And keep in mind, PewPewU coming from the open bracket, right? So who has had to expend more energy today?
Right, certainly.
Okay, let's see if he can keep that Peach up in the air. Waiting. Peach down on the ground with turnip.
that one turn, turnip just working wonders right now.
That's
Double
it.
turnip twice.
Ooh, did not see that coming.
Taking his stock entirely with the use of vegetables.
Okay, and that's the forward air where it hits between her legs is what it looks like as it kind of goes behind her a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. When that Peach has a turn-up, it's going to be difficult to approach.
Right.
Marth's neutral air or forward air can cut through the turn-ups to enable his approach, but it's not easy.
It's not easy, right? The problem, too, is that, again, that is an instance of Marth, when he throws in an attack, he could be vulnerable afterwards, so Peach could bait out an aerial, if he chooses to make that option, and then Peach could potentially punish that. So it's all spacing dependent. It's all dependent on where these players are relative to each other.
Okay, let's get it now. He needs to follow. Just keep him coming. Peach safe again.
Wave dashes in and down smashes. Ooh, and the vegetables.
That's it.
Trade.
He's fine.
Yeah.
4-stock to 2 again, just like we saw at the beginning of match 1.
Forward air off the top. There it is,
It'll go eventually, but it takes too long.
It takes too long, man.
To get there.
It's a war of attrition with one of the players in the world that is most well-versed in wars of attrition. Like, the only player in the world to play like a 2-hour grand final set with Hungrybox, right? So
that's true.
You want to avoid that at all costs.
That's true. And you may say, what about the Ken combo? What about the forward air to down air? Well, yeah, sure, but that's
what about
only
the Ken combo?
That's only if Armada misses his DI.
Right? It's not
so,
guaranteed.
We're going to see it coming.
Yeah.
I think we are.
Okay, there's a tipper, but doesn't quite kill.
No, but it was strong, about 10% more, and it would have.
Doing a great job coming
down
back
with
down.
that parasol. She's making it back every time.
It's so tricky because like it's like a dash dance in the air almost. You're like, where am I going? Where am I going? When do I drop? When do I stay floating?
Sure, much like Captain Falcon's upbeat. Where you
Absolutely.
Can just move it left and right. It is. It's a lot harder than it looks to be when you're spectating. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Okay.
Not
Grab, forward
quite a
throw,
tipper.
tech chase, follow up, but not a tipper. It's going to make all the difference. A tipper will surely kill her here, but a non-tipper, she can just take them all day.
Yeah.
Go in high and stay safe.
Baits on the down smash, it's not enough.
Looking for that Tor B. With a missed DI, it can kill, but even a little bit of DI is going to keep her safe, and you bet Armada's going to get it.
Yeah, for sure. And with every trade that Armada takes, man, it's so rough because, Marth is just going to die at a lower percent than Peach on average.
So what Peach just pulled out there, that's called a Mr. Saturn. And they do a lot of damage to the shield. You can see that Mr. Saturn almost did enough damage to PewPewU's shield to break it.
Uh-huh.
And if a shield breaks, then a character is just in a daze, essentially, and is unable to move, allowing a free punish for the opponent.
Right.
I mean, frankly,
Oh my goodness. He makes it back though. All right, great stuff from PewPewU.
I like it.
That was
74%. We're looking to
Okay.
do is scare PewPewU so he stays in his shield, grab him, and then the throw's going to kill at this percent.
Yeah,
With
the
some
tech
bubble
chase
rush.
right now. He's looking like Sheik versus a Spacey. All right. Good air dodge from Peach, just sneaking by. I would say Peach with one of like the best air dodge stretches in the game.
Oh my goodness. That turnip play is strong.
Dude, is that? It's
very
looking
strong.
like, honestly, right now, the way Marth's whole recovery works, it looks like turnips are just such a problem for Marth when he's off stage.
I think PewPewU could do a better job swinging at them.
I
think
see.
right now he's trying to dodge them.
That's
and that's
not-
extremely difficult. Marth has a lot of hurt boxes.
Okay.
But he's got a lot of hit boxes and needs to use those to swing at them.
Swing at them and, okay, eliminate the threat
I-
entirely.
I don't think the player can hear me because I think he has pretty loud headphones in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that might be considered collusion.
Coaching, right,
Yeah,
collusion.
A little bit of coaching.
Yeah, hashtag.
Look, unbelievable with these turnips.
Okay, there was one. Oh, that was so there.
No.
That's disastrous. But you saw, right? He got up in the lift, swung at the first turnip, ran in power shield to the next
Power
one,
shield at the second
and
one.
then proceeded to kill himself in glorious manner. But
Yeah, well, that's tough. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is preventable. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to say easily preventable, but it wasn't random either. You know what I mean? It was a series of events that we can trace back.
right, the forensics team could definitely go to work on that one.
Excellent.
Nice, up yet a shield again, mirroring the first kill he got in this set.
Oh, Code Red. Code Red.
Oh my goodness.
Code Red.
And this has to be the last thing PewPewU was hoping for right now.
Yeah, on the match where he was doing the best.
Okay, threat defused. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Turning it around just like that, but Randall helping Armada a lot. I like, there was that split second, and there must have been a decision that had to be made with PewPewU when he got that first nair, knocked the Stitch Face out of Armada's hands, and he could have either gone right to continue the combo or left to catch the Stitch Face. And I think he was like, I can get the kill, I can do it, and he almost did.
Yeah, great DI from Armada out of that toward B.
Trying to continue the textures on the top platform, doesn't get it.
Not seeing the get-up attack coming. I like that Armada DIing out of the neutral air as well. He's DIing out of everything. I think we've seen that all day.
Yeah.
Wanted to get that. That's an extra powerful turn-up when you pull it out of the cloud. I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone knew that.
Right, because it's raised in a
Right.
really water-rich environment, which is a cloud.
It's natural.
Right.
It's physics.
It's physics. Yeah, it's biology.
Armada coming down from the air with that F air, like he just doesn't care. Just, yeah, I know it's not supposed to work, but here it is.
Here
Here's
it
an
is.
F air.
See what happens.
Here's my crown.
Okay.
Right? And
Not. Whoa.
Pummeling. Pummel.
Gets that extra little bit of damage.
Yep.
And this.
Right, and a little bit of cleverness, he's able to get back. Also,
Right.
that can be teched. When you're parasoling back and you get hit at a down tilt, it can be ledge teched. But didn't need to because he also DI'd it, which enabled him to get back to the ledge.
Right, action recovery, yeah.
PewPewU trying to run through, gets down smash and killed off the opposite side. And come the combos.
Yeah,
When
isn't
Marth
it-
is low, that's when the combos come.
Right, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the same way with Peach, too, honestly, but, it's just it seems to be a lot easier to kill Marth of these combos, at least for Armada, than it is for PewPewU to kill Peach. And this is kind of a recurring theme, right? Like we saw it earlier with Callball and PPMD, where it'll be kind of a close set as far as the neutral game exchanges go, but the top player is just killing so much more consistently.
Armada at 188. That's going to do it.
198 neutral air, that'll do it.
Okay, up by a stock and a half lead, essentially. I think on a stage as small as this, we can call 60% a half a stock, more or less. And
More or
then
less.
what is going on? What are you seeing? I honestly don't understand what I'm looking at with these turnips.
Oh my goodness.
That's
just
going to do it.
very high level play, I think, is what we're seeing from Armada right now.
A swift 3-0.
Still undefeated.
Armada makes a statement. Who can take me down? There's only one person left who could do it.
Right.
And let me check my polls. I believe that's Fiction.
Fiction, right?
Fiction, the only person with a chance to take a set off Armada.
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing that. We've got a couple more. We're almost done with these polls here, which is
Yeah,
exciting, which means we can set up for the bracket for day 2. And it also means that we're going to see teams real soon.
But first, a commercial.
Bye.